Welcome to Jacob and Josh Read the News. My name is Josh.
And I'm Jacob. We read the
I
news.
will be, we do read the news. I'll be out the next few episodes after this one because I'm on a much needed vacation to the Pacific Northwest. At which point it's going to be Jacob and friends read the news, correct? Is that right?
Yes, yes, Jacob and friends. Elaborate, strange people, all very different, most of whom would probably dislike one another. I'm very excited about this.
Jacob did not have time this week to look into various stories, so I'll be driving this episode. Um, let's see. Let's let's start with So you know how last time we talked, I mentioned how Micron, or maybe that was two times ago, Micron is no longer selling to direct consumers for the RAM, and instead will only be selling to B2B instead of B2C. Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
So now there's news about NVIDIA, the people who do GPUs, graphics cards. It
Yes.
seems like they're going to cut the supply to consumers for up to 40 to 50% in 2026 due to memory shortages.
Yeah. I saw that because that goes to video game systems like my PlayStation, and so now I
Right.
I already can't afford a PS5.
You won't be able to afford a PS5 more,
I
according to
know.
PC Magazine. The global memory crunch reported squeezing NVIDIA enough that it will be reducing its production of the RTX 50 series GPUs, according to WCCF Tech. Uh,
Those people.
yeah, this could go anywhere from 30 to 40% reduction of their GPUs. So, long story short, bubble getting bigger.
Bubble getting bigger. Yeah. Full disclosure for everybody, I am currently short on all superconductors. Uh, the entire industry has an inverse leveraged ETF that, for the most part, is a garbage thing that will lose you money. But we're in a big ass bubble, and when it pops, this thing is going to skyrocket. How far? I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, I threw in a couple hundred to various shortings of Nvidia and the superconductors in general. So we'll see what happens. Don't follow us for financial advice. We're both broke.
Yeah, we're broke. We do not have financial degrees, and if we tried to get them, we would argue so much they would kick us out.
Oh yeah, no. It would be terrible. Next up on the news, let's see here. Did you Are you following this Barry Weiss 60 Minutes thing?
Yeah, a little bit. So they were
What do you
doing.
know about it? Yeah.
So what I gathered, they were doing a piece on the immigration crackdown and its effects on people and throwing people in the cages and the true horrors of it. And then Barry Weiss, the new, she's got Trump's hand completely up her asshole and just put the kibosh on the whole thing.
Yeah, but it's been leaked. That's
Oh,
so it was on YouTube, it was on a couple of other things. I let me pull up exactly where some I think it was a Canadian I don't think it was yeah, Canadian broadcaster Global News TV app also has it now.
all right.
Oh no, wait, let's see. They aired the amended version of the episode afterward with that segment removed. However, they mistakenly uploaded the full version on their streaming service, and people have scraped it now. Um,
Yes,
uh,
good.
I have not watched it. I don't think I'm going to. From the excerpts that I've listened to of like people talking about who've seen it, it is disgusting. Direct
Yeah,
accounts from people who are there about people being like not given adequate help, losing teeth, pissing and shitting themselves because there's nowhere else to go. But Barry Weiss and CBS are trying desperately to get all of these taken down. This is from Forbes magazine. Let's see. Some of the recordings of the segments still seem to be on YouTube, but it's likely that they'll be taken down soon. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before it's on the torrent sites if it isn't already.
Oh, I'm sure it
Um,
is. I'm sure it is. Not that
but
we endorse piracy, except when we do.
yeah. Look, all I'm saying is we wouldn't have Nosferatu without piracy.
That's true.
The
That's very
Nazis
true.
destroyed all of the art house French films of the era when they invaded, but
We're
some projectionist stole a copy, and that's the reason we still have Nosferatu
and for some
is
reason,
because of
and it's also similarly as to why we have Samurai Cop.
I don't know what that is.
Good.
What is Samurai Cop?
No, never mind. You need to go watch that.
Okay. Maybe that's for our eventual Patreon or something.
we,
uh
we watch Samurai Cop and hang ourselves.
oh. um Jacob, I have bad news for your favorite liquor.
Oh?
Jim Beam is shutting down their Kentucky
No.
factory this year because of I don't know if you're familiar with this, but Canada has been boycotting American liquors,
Of
and
course.
apparently Jim Beam, one of their biggest markets is Canada. So
So much winning.
the Claremont site is going to be shut down starting in January 1st until the foreseeable future. According to Fox Business, this is a spokesperson from Jim's Beans, quote, uh, that they are always assembling production levels to best meet consumer demand. So, long story short, nobody buying, so we ain't
So
making.
we ain't making. Okay. That's fantastic. Well, the good news is
They're still going to be distilling at their main distillery. This is just the one in Claremont, Kentucky. So,
okay. Well, then, yeah, then they'll still be making bourbon because bourbon has to be made in Kentucky.
It actually doesn't. It's a weird little loophole. You think it does, but I don't remember. My brother's a big uh, bourbon guy, and he would be able to tell you specifically.
Sure.
But like, it has to be made with Kentucky corn. Maybe there's some
That makes
stupid
sense.
like you can make it somewhere outside of Kentucky as long as you follow these arbitrary rules. That as someone who no longer drinks, I no longer care.
Yeah, and I've been sober now for almost exactly a year, and this was a terrible
Mazel
decision.
tov.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
recommend it. Worst year possible to do that, so I don't have to. Uh,
Worst year so far.
so shut up, Josh. But the, but that sucks. But that's what happens when you institute massive tariffs on our closest allies and trading partners. This does not create economic benefits for anybody. It only take Jim Beam. These distilleries have been going in one form or another for mostly over 100 years,
Yeah.
and they're
So just so you know, at this facility, Knob Creek, Baker's, Booker's, and Basil Hayden's are all made as well.
oh
So prices of Basil Hayden is gonna skyrocket. I should probably
skyrocket.
tell my brother.
What was the first one you said?
Knob Creek,
Oh
which is also a good liquor.
yeah,
When I used to drink.
Knob Creek is that's probably my favorite bourbon. That makes me angry. Okay, I don't even drink it right now, and I'm angry about it.
I figured it would push some buttons. Jacob and I met and bonded over the thing, and so when I used to drink, he got me on the habit of every time the first snow happens, you get some Jim Beam and you watch the movie The
No,
Thing
no, you don't
because
get
of
Jim
course.
Beam. You can have Jim Beam. Jim Beam is appropriately painful to drink while watching the thing, but no, it's J and B Scotch because
Oh,
it's very
my bad.
cheap. It's vaguely drinkable, and it's the drink that Kurt Russell in one of the first scenes pours into the computer after he loses a chess, and he says "cheating bitch." It's fantastic.
See, I thought J&B and Jim Beam were the same.
They are God
I I
no.
just pissed off so many people.
Yes, just no. They're two different sides of the world.
Yeah, okay, but they both have J's and B's in their brown liquors, man, and they're both like mid at
Look, oh,
best,
they're very yeah.
right?
That is absolutely true. Like Jim Beam,
I'm
black,
saying they're more similar than they are different. Okay.
not in flavor, but okay,
No, I meant in like quality.
sure.
Anyway, so do you want to talk about cannabis next or the Manosphere?
Well, we're on the subject of substances, so let's keep that rolling.
So, the Trump as well as uh, the DOJ both have moved cannabis from a Schedule 1 drug to a Schedule 3. But this is okay. So this is the thing that you're gonna keep hearing that it was Trump's doing and this, that, and the third. Biden in his last year kept talking about moving it to Schedule 3. So in case you don't know, in America it's the opposite of what you think. Schedule 1 is the worst
Yeah,
legally. Schedule 5 is the least bad. I mean, technically, unscheduled drugs are the least bad, but Schedule 1, according to the letter of the law, means it has no medical benefits.
yeah,
So that's including, several other hard drugs, and Schedule 3 would put it on the same level as like anabolic steroids, which is that it can be abused, but it still has medicinal purposes. And by doing this, it allows universities to get grant money to study cannabis. This is actually a really good thing, even though it should be probably Schedule 4 if we're acting objectively.
sure,
But
sure.
the,
But
uh,
it's progress. It's something. It'll help maybe stop some of the rollbacks of the cannabis industry that we're seeing
yeah. So
in
this is a
multiple
weird.
states.
It's a weird push and pull, right? Because you've got the DOJ doing this. Meanwhile, Mitch McConnell, when the government opens up, puts in that rider into the bill that is going to, in theory, destroy a $40 billion hemp industry, uh, because I guess he gets money from the alcohol lobby. Um, I know people in the cannabis industry that are fighting this, and it's not officially supposed to take place until 2027 to ban all hemp and CBD products federally.
Uh huh.
I don't. This is going to be really fuzzy, and it's going to be a really messy fight because, like I mentioned, alcohol is on the decline. It's not just
Yeah.
Canada that caused this Jim Beam factory to shut down. It's also it's also the fact that people our age and younger are no longer drinking as much.
Yeah. Well, we're old and we physically can't do it like we used to. And Gen Z, we were a big
They're the most
generation.
sober generation. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we were a generation of drunks in our 20s, and Gen Z, the pendulum always swings the other way. So that if I ever fall off the wagon, things should be cheaper. That's the good news.
But yeah, anyway, I just want to bring up to remind people that Biden had already started this process, and this is just Trump trying to take credit from him. Not that this, for the record, not that Jacob and Josh read the news supports Biden. Let me make that very clear.
No,
I just want to say that we support Trump less.
I think I told you this earlier, but I figured out the best way to describe the personality
Yeah.
differences between
Yes.
Democrats and Republicans. Democrats will stab you in the back, while Republicans will shoot you in the face. It just depends on which version of pain you want to feel. Better example is Republicans are the modern Klingons taken over by the House of Duras, while the Democrats are the Romulans with Ferengi overtones.
Romulan sun, Ferengi moon. Let's see. Hold
The
on.
Trekkie astrology.
Um, yeah, hold on. Let me think of a third. What's the name? Bajarin, is that the name?
Bajorans, yes.
Bajoran Rising.
Yes, yes. Actually, yeah, that makes sense. Very, very, very
Uh,
kind of new agey spiritual, and you've got like the high priests that are really dickish. when they're on the side of the other overall good guys, yeah, that fits the Democrats. Really douchey high priests of a new agey religion, that
So
wield
like
entirely too much moral power.
out of the threes of listeners we have, maybe one of them is going to understand any of this.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
This is for you, John. Um, moving on. The Manosphere took two big blows this past week. Are you familiar with what happened to both Jake Paul and
I,
Andrew Tate?
I am. I watched the Jake Paul one on a loop, and it gave me joy. It
So
just
Jake Paul was fighting Joshua. What's his first name? Anthony Joshua,
mhm.
and got his jaw broken in two places.
With
I've
one
watched a
punch.
lot with one punch, and there's this moment right after a body blow where Paul gets pushed into the corner, and
Uh
there's this
huh.
look of perpetual fear. It
Oh.
looks like so this is the I've been watching a lot of interviews with Joshua, and he talks about how walking into this match he's like, I'm going to make his soul leave his body. I'm going to take his soul. And there's a three panel part at one point where he's with Paul and he's with some interviewer, and Paul says only God can take my soul, and he said I knew you'd say that. And so in after interviews, Joshua talks about the fight, and someone asked him, "Why did you let it go on for 6 rounds? It was clear you could have taken him out at any point." He's like, "I wanted to systematically take this man apart. I wanted to understand where he was and strip him bit by bit." And then like there's this one shot, this one photograph of, and they've got two photographs, one from Paul's angle and one from Joshua's angle, and Paul just has the lights knocked out of him, and Joshua's just got that big smile that you see Kendrick Lamar have during the halftime performance. It's the same smile as "Say Drake, I hear you like him young."
That's yeah,
Oh,
that's fantastic.
oh, yeah, it's
And
and so
I've seen a lot of the picture of Paul in the corner, and he looks like he's crying,
well, and
just terrified.
if you watch the fight, he keeps going. You can tell. Okay, so Paul keeps going for a takedown as if it's MMA. The thing is he gets hit in the head or the body, and then he goes down to his knees and grabs Joshua's legs, and he just kind of holds it there
In
like a
boxing?
child. Well, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't actually take him down, but his instinct is to take him down. And you see him, and he clenches his legs several times after getting hit. And I'm telling you, it looks like someone is like trying to take someone to the ground to fight them, but then he realizes midway through he can't do that. And so then it still looks like a petulant child like grabbing onto his mom's legs because she wouldn't get him the Spider-Man toy he wanted. Right? Like that's what this looks like. If you want to watch a shitty Vine star get their just absolute soul taken from them,
and
it's worth a watch.
and
On
for
the
the
go ahead.
context of people who may not realize the connection, this is the guy who quote unquote beat Mike Tyson in the most clearly
Oh,
fake fight ever.
oh yeah, there. Yeah, so if you don't know who Jake Paul is, I envy you. Jake Paul originally started as a Vine star, what, like 12 years ago,
At least.
13 years ago, and now he's known for. I always get him and his brother confused. Is it Logan that's in MMA,
No, no,
or is it Jake?
no, Jake's MMA. Logan is in WWE, and it's frustrating how good he is at it.
I mean, it makes sense. They're both Vine
Yeah,
stars, man,
like
and
he is perfect for wrestling. He is a great heel because he himself is a piece of shit. You really love to hate him.
yeah. But as you mentioned, he fought. What was that, last year? Oof, feels like 10 years ago. He
No,
fought Mike
it
Tyson.
was earlier this year.
It was this year.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he fought Mike Tyson, and there were several moments where you can see Mike is about to go into a combo mode, and instead he just literally bites his glove so he doesn't. It was likely. suspected that in his rider, if he did a knockout within the first few rounds, he wouldn't get paid as much.
Yeah.
There's rumors that his paycheck would have been cut into half. And so, after the fight, this like 12-year-old interviews Tyson. It's like, so what do you want to say for your legacy? And he's just like, legacies don't matter. You're just gonna be dead and no one will remember you. And it's like, Jesus, dude. And he's telling like a 12-year-old this. It's just like eventually you'll be dead and no one cares.
No one cares. Just again, his voice is one of my favorite. I want Mike Tyson to just narrate things.
Oh man, get him as your like turn left at what would it be?
You
Yeah,
want to
turn left at Smith Street.
Smith.
In 500 feet, turn right. So not only did Jake Paul get his shit rocked, but another man of the Manosphere, Andrew Tate, just got destroyed by a guy named Chase Demore. He's an influencer. He's been on a couple of Netflix things, but he has been known for boxing. This is Tate's first entry into boxing ever. He's done kickboxing, but this is his first boxing match, official sanctioned boxing match, I should say. And he's 39 years old. Jacob, can you give like a base understanding of who Andrew Tate is for those who don't know?
Yeah, sure.
Andrew Tate. Few.
Andrew Tate is one of the most vile people I've ever learned about from the internet, and that is a high bar. This is the guy.
You know a lot of vile people.
I do. So Andrew Tate, I came to know of him as a very the walking example of toxic masculinity, who encourages men to be above women, to treat them like shit, to hit them. He encourages the worst of all possible behaviors from the worst ideas of masculinity.
He literally encourages and made his money via human trafficking and pimping digitally. Yeah. What I mean to say by that is he took several of his girlfriends' passports when they moved abroad and like they did OnlyFans and he took their money. He talks about how this is a way to make like a pyramid scheme out of women, essentially,
out of forced prostitution.
And he encourages his followers to do something similar to make money.
And I learned about him when he was in Romania taking selfies and like
bragging about how the Romanian government.
There was a warrant, international warrant for his arrest, and he just took selfies posting about it in his hotel room. Look, they'll never find me. I can do whatever I want. And like there was a pizza
he's smoking a cigar and eating a pizza, but then they were able to triangulate his location because of the pizza box.
Yeah, because it was like one random pizzeria that like only exists in one place, so they were able to find him pretty easily. So good.
Unfortunately, Trump pardoned him, and now he's back stateside, I believe.
Yes. So hopefully, the punch gave him, severe hemorrhaging in his brain.
Oh yeah, there's a good uppercut that the guy hit on him that is very satisfying. It bounces straight off his head. Yeah, he lost. I mean, obviously 39 is far too old to have your first sanctioned boxing match. And for the record, I've looked into his record of like 89 wins or whatever. He only picked fights that he could win. He only picked fights with people where he had a bigger reach or bigger weight, that he had better numbers on. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter. What I am saying is
he's a coward.
He made sure to put his thumb. Yeah, he's a coward, and he put his thumb on the scale. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
let it be known that this venerated, ancient, and distinguished news outlet do not endorse Andrew Tate, and sincerely hope he is sodomized by a Clydesdale.
Oh, that'd be nice. Mr. Hands 2. This time it's personal.
Ooh.
This is the way that he makes money, besides human trafficking, is he convinces 14-year-olds to steal their mother's credit card and then give him money to be a part of his private Discord.
Oh dear God.
So this is a quote from. Oh yeah, you didn't know about that? Yeah,
No, no.
it's like $1,000 a month to join his private Discord, and then there's another like I think it's like a couple hundred to join like one sanctum, and then there's an inner sanctum where it's 1,000 a month,
The
and
inner
like
sanctum.
basically yeah. I mean, I think you're called like Top G's or something. I don't know.
Oh
There's a
my god.
Behind the Bastards 4-part podcast all about it. If you really want to learn about all the terrible things that that Andrew Tate has ever done, check there. But this is the quote from Andrew Tate according to Sports Illustrated. I lost in front of the world. Got paid 20 million fucking dollars. I'm fine. He doesn't care what anyone says about him,
Well, I
according
mean,
to him.
look, if I lost and got paid $20 million, I wouldn't care either. Like that's pretty reasonable. But
I agree with you. However, I think he does care. I really do.
yeah,
I think that this really hurts his ego. But okay, this one's cool. This is space news. James Webb Space Telescope confirms first runaway supermassive black hole rocketing through galaxy at 2.2 million miles per hour.
hell yeah.
So, so if you don't know, the James Webb Space Telescope launched, I think it was in 22 or 23, and it was to replace the Hubble. The Hubble still exists, but it was done, I believe, in the 70s, and we've just gotten better at cameras since then. So, uh, with the James Webb Space Telescope, we've been able to find supernovas in the far distant galaxies, and there's been a lot more. If you've seen a lot of space photography in the past
It's
few years,
beautiful. It's
and it looks
absolutely
really
amazing.
good, that's from the James Webb Space
And
Telescope.
the most fascinating thing it's done to me is that it's shown so far back that we're seeing galaxies existing earlier than they should, showing that likely the commonly
Big Bang.
accepted. What it does is it doesn't dismantle the Big Bang, but it does sort of begin to dismantle that bullshit inflation theory that after the Big Bang there was suddenly a few million years where time and space exponentially expanded really really fast for no reason. Do it.
Yeah. So in case you don't know, like you know, if you look far enough in one distance, you can actually look into the past. And the reason why is we're seeing the light that hit us from that light years away, right? And so if
Yeah,
you look
it's called red shifting. So the redder
red
the
shift, well, and blue shift, yeah, yeah.
yeah, the darker red something in the sky is, the further away it is in both space and time. I'm not a
I
scientist, nor am
I
I a
I
financial advisor.
I I, I believe it's actually blue that is further away. I might be wrong on that. Now you've got me doubting. Um, anyway, back to the space.com. This is the first confirmed runaway supermassive black hole, which basically means this is the first supermassive black hole we've seen like en route somewhere. So this is just a black
Mm.
hole. This is galaxies away, right? There's nothing to worry about existentially from this one, but it's just it's going. What did they say? 2.2 million miles per hour.
Hell yeah. Just
It's
doesn't
just
care about the cosmic
careening through
speed.
the cosmos.
The cosmic speed limit does not matter to this thing.
According to space.com's calculations, this is 3,000 times the speed of sound.
Haha. Yes, so it doesn't have to listen to the new Taylor Swift album.
So the crazy thing is like it has a wake. Think about that for a minute. Because of something this massive
Ooh,
of gravity,
gravity
there's this
waves.
bending. Yeah, no, there's literally a bend around it. So
Oh,
it's dragging 200,000 light year long tail of light behind it.
that's. I have to find this. That sounds beautiful.
Like it This is a quote from a discovery team leader at Yale, Pieter von Dockum. It boggles the mind. The forces that are needed to dislodge such a massive black hole from its home are enormous, and yet it was predicted that such escapes should occur, and they do. So supermassive black holes are already relatively not rare, but are harder to find. It just means there's
Yeah,
more. of the mass, bigger, more heavy black hole, right?
Yeah, well, so supermassive black holes, uh, they're generally the things that hold galaxies together. Like the center of our galaxy
Yeah,
is a
is a supermassive
supermassive
black hole.
black hole. I don't believe there are any orbiting it. So like they're kind of the biggest single thing we know in terms of density and mass.
So this is the same head researcher. This is the only black hole that has been found far away from its former home. That made it the best candidate for a runaway supermassive black hole, but what was missing was the confirmation. And we really had was a streak all we really had was a streak that was very difficult to explain in any other way. With the JWST, we have now confirmed that it is indeed a black hole at the tip of the streak and that it is speeding away from its former host. So they were able to find this because they found its wake.
That
That's how
is
they knew this thing existed. Is they
awesome.
were able to calculate where it was based on its wake.
That is cool as hell.
Anyway, I'm
All
just
right,
trying to have some.
dispatch Picard and the Enterprise to go investigate.
Oh God, send an away team. Uh, Let's
Data.
see. Do you want Luigi Mangione update, or do you want the Hunger Games in real life?
Oh, give us Hunger Games. I'm hungry.
When I first heard about this, I did not realize it was for teenagers, and I was joking that it was the Hunger Games, and then I found out it's literally for teenagers, and
Oh
therefore literally
God.
the Hunger Games. So Trump wants to make our own version of the Olympics called the Patriot Games, but only for high schoolers. And the idea is there would be one boy and one girl from all 50 states competing for the
Great.
250th birthday celebration. I assume around the same time as the UFC fight on the lawn. I don't really know when what when it's going to happen. But let's see here. This is from Sports Illustrated. President Donald Trump has announced a new national showcase for all top high school athletes, the Patriot Games, a 4-day competition scheduled for the fall of 2026. The event will bring together one male and one female from every high school athlete from every U.S. state and territory, creating a unique field of youth competitors representing all corners of the country. Oh wait, does that mean I, I the way that says it means that maybe uh Puerto Rico can send some
Oh, that'd be
athletes.
nice.
Interesting.
Guam.
Oh yeah, Guam. Who do you represent? Oh, I'm the boy from Guam. I can't help but feel like this is attached to the whole like trans women in sports and
Oh
and
yeah, yeah. They've got to say one boy, one girl. And so
well,
because they really don't. They kept yelling, boys in sports, men and women sports. They kept yelling that over and over again, so that
me
uh, yeah.
Meanwhile, this affected less high schools in the United States than Trump has felonies. The thing is what people don't realize is that trans people are around 1% of the population, roughly the same amount as redheaded people. Let me make that clear. Roughly, you're just as likely to be trans as you are a ginger. It is not a very common occurrence.
Yeah.
And yet, they are using this as an edge case of an edge case. Never, ever, ever, ever have men cared about women's sports until it was a way to be mean to trans women.
Yeah,
Like it's
and
it's
they're
it's, it's
and one of their main policies that they've instituted in multiple states, including North Carolina, that
yeah.
this is in order to make sure that no trans person or kid is in a girls' sport. They mandate genital inspections of teenage girls, which that that is
the
blatant.
Overton window the Overton window is so fucked.
You're creating blatant ability for pedophilia, for abuse, for rape and assault on so many levels, and just even invading a kid's privacy like that, just to make sure they have the right plumbing.
And also like this completely there's intersex people who aren't really necessarily considered trans and like it's a weird punishment for something and I don't know if I mentioned this on a previous episode or not, but the Olympics now has mentioned that they're going to ban trans people in sports, as well as women with high levels of abnormally high levels of testosterone. Like you could be a cis woman and still not be able to compete in the Olympics if you have
Because you
too
have
much
because
testosterone.
you have a minor hormone disorder.
It's so ridiculous. Like it what even if you believe that trans women aren't women, even if you believe that, this is such an edge case of an edge case that it doesn't need to be brought up, right?
It,
Like even if you're against this affects so few instances of medals, of awards, of sports. Like
yeah,
it's insane how this is latched on, and in my opinion, the way that you counter this, if you have a relative who's so obsessed with like trans women in women's sports, here's what you ask them: why are you so obsessed with everyone's genitals?
yeah,
That's
it's weird.
weird,
It's deeply
and
weird.
say this verbatim. That's weird and gross that you care so much about what's in someone's pants, because it is. It's gross and it's weird. Update on Luigi Mangione. It's getting punted yet again. This is from ABC News. Luigi Mangione's pretrial concludes as judge says he'll rule his issuing of evidence in May. So basically, in May, they'll decide whether or not his backpack is allowed into evidence. As we mentioned in previous uh, episode, his testimony, which was given while he was under custody before he was read his Miranda rights, is being thrown out. So, and as I've mentioned previously, they searched his bag without a warrant 45 minutes after seizing the bag at a different location. So, you know, who knows? I mean, it seems like the judge is trying to make this a fair case. So from my opinion, it seems like he'll throw this out. But it's weird that he's punting it till May. I don't really know how this all
Yeah.
works, but this doesn't seem like a fair and speedy trial. It may be fair, but not speedy.
Yeah. Well, it was never gonna be. It's too politically charged. There's so much money involved. There's so much stuff involved for the stock market. This was always gonna take for friggin' ever.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know these details. The suppression hearing included testimony from 17 witnesses and produced new information about the case that the Manhattan DA office uh, uh, is building against Mangione. So
Okay.
apparently they've got more witnesses.
Cool.
Uh, this is a fun little quip. The body cam footage officers collected uh, more evidence from Mangione than previously known, including handwritten notes that the prosecutors characterized as a to-do list, as well as possible escape routes. One of the notes included a reminder to pluck his eyebrows.
Okay.
Got a manscape on the run.
Anyway.
So we'll know in May if it gets thrown out as it should.
Cool.
If due process and justice still exist. Um, I guess we'll round out with my fun news.
Well, let me
Are you from?
before we get to your fun news, let me go through because there was a couple things I did see um,
Okay,
that I'm basically just scrolling through Google News and
sure.
finding a few things. The second batch of the Epstein files includes many mentions of Trump.
Oh yeah, that's something that I wanted to mention. If you look up Jmail,
Yeah.
you can scroll through Jeffrey Epstein's emails as if you are Jeffrey Epstein. It is hilarious, and these are, as far as I understand, all real emails that Epstein had. So we'll put a link in the description if you want to look through there.
And
But
another thing that is really funny that I found out today is that they used a very basic, simple Google thing to redact
yeah,
everything. So you
yeah,
could,
to cover it up
yeah, but listen, so you can just highlight
and
the
copy and paste.
redactions, copy and paste, and it unredacts it, so you can just read it anyway. So
There
this
are
is
theories that this was malicious compliance on purpose by someone, but
I
who knows?
I hope so. But it's 50-50 because this administration is absolutely stupid enough to do it that way. They are
Yeah,
absolutely this incompetent.
yeah. They basically just put a rectangle over. They put a black rectangle over it instead of actually redacting the characters.
Yep.
It's so funny.
Uh,
Um,
let's see. Also, the Supreme Court refused to allow National Guard deployment in Chicago. So that's a bit
oh,
of good
really?
news. Yeah, that this happened within the last 2 hours as we
Okay,
are
I didn't hear
recording.
about this. So I
Yep.
guess yeah, as we're recording.
So that's very new. So we'll see if this if which is it's great to see the Supreme Court rejecting something from the White House, but we'll see if they just do it anyway. Um, let's see here. We are apparently currently chasing an oil tanker.
A new one. So this is the second one.
No, this is the third one. So apparently they
The
got.
third one.
So apparently there's two that we intercepted, one we
Uh-huh.
kept, and this third one like got through the blockade, and they're chasing it through the Caribbean.
So so the weird thing is
Grand theft tanker.
so the weird thing is Trump made an executive order basically declaring that Venezuela is a terrorist organization. The whole state of Venezuela is a terrorist organization, which has really odd implications because like people like Exxon still trade with them,
Yeah, they still have.
which means that they are technically aiding and abetting terrorists. So they would have to legally go after Exxon Mobil. You know what I'm saying? Like this is
Yeah.
we've never seen a whole state be considered a terrorist before.
Well, we
You know?
have. We have, just not in this hemisphere.
All right, fair
Like
enough.
Iran, North Korea. You know.
Okay, but not one that we do business with is what I
Right.
mean to say.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
We've never had. I mean, not that we're allies with Venezuela or really have been, but the fact of the matter is we were relatively cordial enough to sell and buy products from them.
So
And
so
so,
so the history of trade with Venezuela is really weird. Um, Multiple administrations have tried to open them up, to give them aid, to really boost their economy, their way of life, just and bring them out of fundamental international exile. And the Chavez and Maduro governments have refused to collaborate with any international organization in good faith. They've gone back on their word on absolutely everything from press and electoral freedom to trade ratios. It's really crooked. So we didn't do a lot with them anyway. And let me put it this way: their economy is so bad that taking out the Maduro government and plunging them into a 20-year civil war would be horrible from a humanitarian standpoint. It would do almost nothing from an economic standpoint.
woof.
It really wouldn't impact a whole lot from a economic perspective. So like it's dumb for them to do that. It doesn't help anything. All of this is fundamentally stupid, but that's where we are on that. Trump administration seeks to cancel thousands of asylum cases, saying applicants can be deported to third countries, which is they've been doing that anyway. So if you are trying to get asylum, you come here, they can just say that you're not allowed to file for asylum, which you are under international law and human rights, and then you can be sent to a country that you're not from, that you have no connection to, that you don't speak the
Ugh.
language in, that you
Yeah.
could be the target of even greater abuse. That we've been sending people to Africa now.
Well, and there's also cases of people who have been here for 20, 30, 40 years and being sent back to their quote unquote home country. I've read of someone from South Korea that this happened to, as well
Yeah.
as I believe she was from Honduras. And it's just like,
And to be
you don't
clear,
have a life there
these
anymore.
people all. To be clear, many of the people that they're picking up and sending away are legal. They are here through
Yeah.
some amount of legal means. They may not be full
Well-
citizens, but they have documentation. They are going through the
Well-
process. They are doing it right, as hard and
yeah.
as difficult as we make it for people. They are doing it
Well-
fucking right, and they're still being picked up, brutalized, beaten, separated from their families, never allowed to.
Yeah.
I've known people in one county over that don't know where their father is.
Yeah.
A 17-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 4-year-old's dad was picked up a month ago. They still have no fucking clue where he is.
Well, and just to underline this even further, not anyone shouldn't be treated this way, but they're also rounding up citizens. So this was
Yes.
pre ICE's big beautiful bill boost of money. They're estimated to be 71 Americans over a 4-year period from like 2016 to 2021, that American citizens that were deported. And that was, like I said, before they got, what was it, 40, 80 billion dollars? How much did they get out of the big beautiful bill? Some absurd amount of money.
Oh, it
uh,
was
uh
ridiculous. You talk about the I zoned out for a
their
second.
budget for the year.
For
Yeah.
ICE, right? Yeah, the
Yeah.
ICE's budget is bigger than the U.S. Marine Corps. ICE's but the our immigration services budget is now bigger than most every other country's military. We spend more on immigration than Russia spends on their army, and they're at war. It's perverse. And the people who run ICE now, particularly, they're giving jobs. They're turning people into agents that have no business in law enforcement, have no business with a badge, have no business with a gun, who don't give a shit about your rights, who don't give a shit about international law. These are not people who should be given any amount of authority by anybody to do anything. These are people who
Let
were
alone a
active.
gun.
These are people who
Let
were
alone a
active
gun.
in storming the Capitol 5 years ago. God. Anyway.
Bring this one up. This is from Popular Science. First of its kind study shows encouraging data for trans children who socially transition. So, for those of you not familiar with the idea of social transitioning, so there's a lot of misinformation, intentional, on what transitioning is from people, and they're like, "Oh, we should be mutilating kids. What if they change their minds?" A social transition has nothing to do with what happens to their genitals or their bodies. It has nothing to do with their hormone. It's just simply calling this kid the gender they want to be called and accepting that what they say is real. So, just as an example, you could have someone who was born a young girl and she decides that she is a he. And so she says, okay, call me Mitch now and use he, him pronouns. And if you do so, it turns out that their mental health gets better. Who would have thought? But now we have empirical evidence that shows that if you honor someone's gender, they are less likely to commit suicide. So, in case you don't know, there's a whole nonprofit called the Trevor Project that is designed to help prevent queer kids from killing themselves because they are some of the highest demographic of suicide. It's a huge
Yeah.
tragedy. It's due to bullying. It's due to the church, a number of other reasons, the law. But trans kids are one of the most likely to kill themselves, and it's a damn shame. But this study followed 317 transgender kids across the U.S. and Canada that underwent social transitions. Their ages were 3 to 12 when the study started, and they began identifying as trans on average around the age of 6. The researchers found that 94% of participants stood firm in their trans identity 5 years later. So there's a common talking point amongst
Interesting.
Christians and Republicans that, well, what if they change their minds? Well, first off, what if any kid changed their minds? I thought, what I wanted to be when I was a kid, or I thought I could be punk rock or whatever. Like you're putting on, as a teenager, you're putting on different
Different
identities,
hats.
like
Yeah.
coats, just to try them. So, like, yeah, what's the harm if for 3 years Billy gets known as Susie, and then 3 years later he goes, I want to be Billy again? There's who cares, right?
Yeah.
Like, what does that affect? But regardless, 94% of these 317 children ended up keeping their trans identity 5 years later. Many had taking hormonal medication to prompt biological changes to affirm their gender. Now, this is a common misunderstanding as well. What people not familiar with trans people do not know is there's something called a puberty blocker, which is already given to cis kids if they have precocious puberty or they're growing too fast or whatever. It is already being prescribed to
To
like
certain kids.
cis heterosexual kids for other reasons other than being trans. If you take a hormone blocker, what it does is a puberty blocker, what it does is it does is put pause on wherever the puberty process you're in. So it's not even that, like, if you change your mind, if you're a part of the 6% of kids that change their mind, you just stop taking the puberty blocker and you immediately go back where you started with puberty, right? So this isn't something that like
It's irreversible.
is irreversible. It's literally just a pause button on getting testosterone or estrogen. That's literally all this is. So I want to clear that up because not a lot of people understand what hormonal therapy children are actually
Sure.
getting. It's very rare that they actually get estrogen or testosterone.
And
They're actually like, yeah.
and me, I'm a straight cisgendered white dude with entirely too much privilege, and so I don't understand a lot of this shit.
For
And
the record, I have all those labels too. I just have a lot of trans friends.
yeah,
I'm just a really good ally, Jacob.
shut up, shut up. No, so here's the thing that a lot of people, if you're listening to this and you are like us straight cis white dudes with too much privilege, and you don't understand the trans thing because that's how a lot of people talk about it, especially here in rural Appalachia where I live and where you live now. Is it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what I think. Our opinions about this don't matter. People deserve to be who they want to be. I personally don't give a shit if they were born that way or if they decided to or if they were traumatized into it. I care about that. That's terrible. But they still have the right to it. They have the right to their identity, the right to themselves, and you don't get to say anything about it. I don't get to say anything about it.
Just be polite, you know, like it's and here's the other thing, since we're on this subject. Let's say you're around somebody who identifies as non-binary and you keep using the wrong pronouns, and you're a well-intended cis person. Just apologize briefly and move on. Like, because the thing is don't just keep making a meal out of it and bemoan, oh, I'm so sorry, it's so difficult, I can't take it getting used to it. Like, okay, look, just okay, it's fine, move on and don't do it again, right? Like, it's people make such a big deal out of this when it doesn't need to be. Just be
Yeah.
polite and call people what they want to be called. um
And
so anyway, according to this study, 2.5% of the youth became at the end of the 5-year study turned back, according to them, to cisgender, and 3.5% identified as non-binary at the end of it. Now, I'm not going to open this can of worms. Some people believe that non-binary and trans are the same thing. Some people think that it's like a superset of a subset. Some people say they're two completely different things. It's not my place to say.
I don't
I
know and have no opinion. Do what you want. Wash your hands. I don't give a shit.
do what you want, wash your hands. Honestly, that's a slogan for a t-shirt. Do what you want, wash your hands.
Yes. It's not hard. Anyway, well, we got about 5 minutes ish left. Let's.
Okay. Well, let me get to the good news then, real
Oh
quick.
yes.
This is coming from the CBC, the Canada Broadcasting Corporation. In
Hooray,
Montreal, there was a $4,000, somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000 heist made by Santas and elves at a grocery store. The thieves dressed as Santa and his elves steal $3,000 worth of grocery store of goods from a Montreal grocery store. The group that claimed credit for this, their name in English, it's French, but it translates to the Robins of the Street, like Robin Hood.
Hell yeah.
Several masked people dressed as Santa and a group of masked elves were filmed at a grocery store in Montreal Monday night, filling up carts with food. Seemingly festive, the group left the grocery store without paying. Montreal police spokesman Caroline, I don't speak French, Chevafils, confirms the investigation is underway with a, quote, shoplifting incident at a large retail store off of Chambord Street. But on social media, the people who claimed it is Robin du Ruel, I believe is how you'd say that, but I don't know. Robins of the Alley. And they said the hunger justifies the means. And they gave the food
Ooh.
they gave the food to various community fridges
I love it. I love it.
and left. Yeah, it's just
The
it's so
hunger
good.
justifies the means.
Here's
That's
another quote. A handful of corporations are holding up basic needs hostage. They continue to strife population, siphoning off as much money as possible. simply because they can. For us, that's theft, and they are the real criminals.
Damn.
The hunger justifies the means.
I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, yeah. That's proper law breaking right there. I approve.
Oh wow, they put all of the oh that's cool. So they put all of the food uh in Christmas bags, like in good Christmas goodie bags in the town square, and then they took half of it and did that, and took half of it and filled up food pantries.
Yeah, that's
A
great.
Merry Christmas to all.
And and to all a good stolen dinner. Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. I have no problem with stealing from very large corporations for food for people that need food. That's
And for the record, if you see someone stealing something from a large corporation, you didn't see them.
if you see something, say nothing and drink to forget.
Except you can't drink Jim Beam anymore. Have a good night, folks.
Yep. Well, that's it for our show this evening, Josh. It's been a pleasure. Enjoy your vacation. You've certainly, well, I won't say you've earned it. You've certainly done things that make people glad you're somewhere else.
I look. I may have not earned it, but I damn deserve it.
That's it. That's a good way of putting it. Yes. Yeah.
I look forward to listening to your podcast with friends while I'm hiking through Oregon.
Yep. Enjoy. You'll have to give us a recap of it when you're back. So anyway,
I will not. I will not be telling you the number of felonies I am shipping to myself.
That's good. I will take this too.
That's a joke. For legal reasons, that is a joke.
For legal reasons.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.